Hello, it's Grizzled and Gaijin. We're back. We hope you're having a happy day where we're listening to this audio content from. As always, we'd like to thank you for your continued support of Greg, Grizzled and Gaijin social media and writing efforts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is episode 013 of the Greg, Grizzled and Gaijin, definitely not a podcast show. A light and fluffy look at social media, Japan, Japanese food, expat life, and life in general. As always, your retweets of this and all the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful content that we tweet and retweet out on Craig Hoffman 11 on Twitter is appreciated. Thank you in advance for helping us get the good word out about Greg, Grizzled and Gaijin. Today's show topic is: what's your destination and what's your journey? And is there a difference in life? A day or so ago, the train was late, and I realized that if I waited, I would get home super late. So I decided to walk home, and it was about an hour walk from that train station to where I live. That was not on my list of things to do, but it was a pretty nice day, so I decided to go ahead and walk. And I wrote my wife, and I said, I'll be home later. And I started to walk from the train station. I went out a different exit for some stupid reason. Don't do that in Japan. And I got a little turned around and discombobulated. And for the briefest of moments, I was really lost. And while I didn't panic, I certainly stopped and went back to the train station, and I went out of the exit that I always go out of. And about an hour later, I was at the front door to my home. But it got me thinking that my destination didn't change, but I had changed the journey path of my route home and got into big trouble. And I couldn't help but be reminded of my American life days, where I had no real destination. My life was basically getting up, work, go home, sleep, get up and work again and again and again. And that's not unlike most people at the time that I knew. Many of my friends worked a lot, and many people in my family worked a lot. But there seemed a little point after about 5 years of doing that, because I really didn't have a destination. And then suddenly Japan came into the picture, and I had a destination, and I came here, and I remember thinking, I'm in Japan. And that used to really kind of freak me out on occasion. It still does even 13 years later. And it did yesterday when I was momentarily lost. But I realized in the 13 years that I've had quite the journey, but I'm still rather unsure of the destination. And I spend a lot of time thinking about that. Somebody asked me last week, what do you think about Japan? And I said, I don't really think about Japan. This is my life. I never really think that I live in a foreign country. Sure, the signs are in Japanese and I speak Japanese, and my company, that's the way it is. You know, everybody's Japanese except for me. And that's okay. But even at home, my wife is Japanese. But I just never think of like I live in Japan, which really sounds silly to anybody who's never lived here for a really long time. But I really never think that I live in a foreign country. But then there were moments like when I was lost out that wrong exit of the train station that I realized that I'm not in, quote, Kansas anymore. And I'm from Ohio, which is doubly bad. Sometimes in life, you can be at the right place, and it really didn't matter how you got there. And sometimes you can be in the wrong place, but the journey that you took to get there lets you get back on the right path. And I'm not sure there's any point to this little diatribe, but for me, yesterday, there was a small epiphany that while I don't know my final destination in my life, I'm really okay with my current journey. Hope you are too. That's it, and have a great day.